Hey, welcome to the video. Welcome to Tony's Wonderland. It's basically very cold here, as you can see. Uh, and this is Tony's guide to surviving the frosty wilds out here. Tony the piglet. Okay, I was trying to do like a shitty Italian accent. I don't know. It's probably bad. But if you are here, and you are in a frosty wilderness like this, uh, like here's some problems. You create a world called under the water, and you use the seed. So that was the seed for this world if you need it. Seed that I'll provide later on. But you start here. Uh, and realistically, there's nothing but snow, penguins, water, a whole hell of a lot of polar bears, which is dangerous. Maybe some spiders at night, and like everything's frosty. And if you have like the mod on for like cold, now you're already freezing. So this is where the game put me, and I'm gonna try and give you some tips here to try and survive as best as you can without eating this frosty rotten meat from a zombie. So basically the first steps you wanna try and get some maybe a little bit of a place to hide out, right? So like you can try and build like a four square like place where you can just survive the night. It's important, find a little hole like this, so you can sort of cave that off. And I made this little place for myself here, but this took a while. Like I had to survive the first couple of nights, obviously. As for food, you could, if you can kill a polar bear, they can drop fish. Uh, so you kill these, you can actually get some fish out of it. For these things here, for trees, you basically want to cut down trees and make as big of a wood source of the nearest type of wood, whatever it is. Just try and reseed it by like chopping down wood, getting the saplings, and then basically replant the saplings here for like for survival purposes. You can also use the flowers maybe later on, but one of the big problems that you're going to face is there's not a lot of food here. So like I said, the polar bears are maybe the really there's no cows really. There's not much else going on here except for the water. uh and you could attempt, I guess, to try and fish, but you don't have any actual like there's bamboo over there, or like but like basically there isn't a lot of food here, so your only food source will be fish, and in order to get that you actually need to fish. So your biggest ally here, also for like wool, because how are you gonna get wool otherwise? It's gonna be a bit difficult. um, there might be some fish, if I can see here from the distance. There might be a bit fish down there, but there's also polar bears here. So your biggest like advantage here is actually killing spiders, both at day and at night if you can, but trying to avoid to not die to the spawns. But basically, if you're a lone piglet here, killing spiders will grant you string, which you can then in turn create into a bed eventually. You have the wood source already here, so you have the wood source, and then you're basically needing string for fishing or uh for like improving your life here, right? So what I did here is, you see this snow. This snow is not very conducive to creating anything. If you like basically break enough of these you know these, you will eventually get seed out of them. So breaking a bunch of these is actually really useful. Maybe not with your sword, but breaking a bunch of these. There was one. I got one seed. into my inventory. So like you have these. With these, you can eventually create, if you have enough, you can create a massive field. But in order to do it, you're gonna need to get some coal, and you can get coal from underneath the surface. So if you're like trying to, uh, you can get coal from down here somewhere, like for example here, right? Um, but there are like there's places where it could be a little bit hard to find coal. So if you can't find coal, oh, there's a teleporter. If you can't find coal, your option here is to use the tree and then just burn the tree uh, to create some coal. So in order to do that, you're needing a furnace, and if you burn a log, a spruce log, you can actually create coal, so you can create torches, and vice versa, like this. So now you have, it's a different type of charcoal. It looks different, but it still works as coal. So you can use it to to burn it for heat. You can burn it for food. You can make it for torches. Uh, and like basically there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that. So like in order to survive, this is kind of what you can do in the beginning when you're struggling to just get this off the road. So if you were thinking, oh, I can't possibly survive here, I want to start like a new type of playthrough, just so I can not have to uh, so I don't have to actually like start over. So that's the thing, is you can actually just do this. You can survive here, and as you dig further down into the deep and find, more resources like iron and other kinds of things down here, eventually you will find that like this is actually a fully valid uh, it's a fully valid zone to survive in. You don't actually have to worry that much. You know, as as soon as you get started, you get enough. Uh, you can duck underneath, the underneath this ground here, so that you can hide away. When you have the problem with these birds here, for example, because if you can't sleep, you're gonna have a little bit of a problem with these damn birds. Um, so like you can dug underground when that happens at night. Kind of spend your time mining down here. Or if you have enough food and whatever, you can build a bonfire like this, and this will help you cook some fish. So this is sort of the way you can survive in this environment here. And I also built a little bit of a glass lookout, so you can keep an eye on the time here. This is kind of useful because if you there's sand nearby, there's a beach nearby. So like if you are stuck in the situation where like you don't know what the time is in an early game, you literally make little peepers like this, and then you can just you can look out and see, oh, it's literally still night. So I can continue either, mining, or I can and get some more materials. But yeah, so this has been Sileno's, not Tony, but I was just making a little bit of a goof in the beginning there, but like basically, if you like what you see, subscribe, and I'll maybe do some other stuff like this. I'll show my progress in this world maybe later on, you know. Uh, but it's a bit of a struggle. The food is the main concern here, because there isn't a lot around, and I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna go from here, because I might have to build super far away from here just to get to an actual livable zone, like anything that's just green, that's not actually frozen over 24/7, which I don't know which direction it is. I guess I could use like a sort of I don't know, sort of like a map tool or something like that. There are some resources out there. But yeah, if you liked what you've seen, give me a little bit of a like, a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Under the water. Help! I'm under the water.